Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video, and welcome back to Zimbabwe. So the adventure continues. You remember a few weeks back I went to Cape Town. This feels like a lifetime ago now at this stage. Cape Town was an add-on for a few folks to do before we continued on into Namibia. And here I am now doing the same thing but in Zimbabwe, and we are in Hwange National Park, which is a very, very different kind of landscape to what we have been traversing these last couple of weeks. It's nice early in the morning start. We're just about to go out on a game drive, hopefully see some stuff. Oh, look at that chair. I'm so distractible. I'm gonna sit in that chair. It's hot, like it's hot. My Irish blood is too thick for this stuff. It feels like gravy in my veins. So anyways, we're hopping into the truck to go for a bit of a game drive. We arrived here yesterday. I drove down yesterday, and we did do a game drive yesterday and saw some lions and some nice looking birds. So I will compile all of that together to pop it in after all of this ramble, and that way then we can kind of continue as normal. But yeah, very, very different kind of landscape. You know, one of the things that's so marvelous about, I suppose, getting the opportunity to travel through Botswana and Namibia and obviously now Zimbabwe is just to see all the different landscapes. One of the, I suppose, the things that people be like, isn't it just the same stuff? Yeah, sure, it's the same animals that you could potentially be seeing, but they're all in different landscapes, and that makes for some much nicer pictures, or at least a much more kind of diverse portfolio of pictures, probably a better way to put it. Like yesterday, you'll see the lion. So anyways, yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to get to explore. But anyways, off we go. We are staying in Robin's Camp, which is a really, really lovely place. Yeah, everybody's so friendly. It's amazing. And so we're staying here in Robin's Camp for 3 nights, so well, 2 more nights, and then we move on then to go to a different camp for 2 nights, and then off we go. Whew. So yes, anyways, fun times shall be had, my friends. Hwange National Park. Let's explore.
Welcome, friends, to the ASMR Photography Studio, and welcome to the first set of images in this week's video, and an extra welcome to Hwange National Park. This place was really great and very much exceeded any expectation that I had before arriving, and really we got to meet some wonderful people that were staying in the lodge that I never mentioned in any of my ramblings. So a real fantastic place just to hang out and meet some new friends, and of course explore the beautiful, beautiful wildlife that is on offer here.
Okay, so we are back out for our afternoon game drive, and word around the campfire is that there was a kill right at that viewing platform that I showed a little bit of B-roll at. This park is great because there's a couple of viewing platforms you can actually get out of your truck and go up to and view. But anyways, we are leaving pretty much right now to go and see if we can see stuff getting eaten. So if you are, you know, any way of a don't enjoy that kind of content, feel free to skip ahead. But I have to run out now because the truck is waiting. So let's hit the road and let's see what we can see.
So as I mentioned, there certainly was a kill, and wow, these guys must have just taken it down. It was like almost still breathing. It was so fresh. What a shame we didn't get to see it. And it's funny actually, because you sit here thinking to yourself, oh god, it'd be amazing to see them hunting and killing something. But when you see them eating something so fresh, and then you start to think about what it would be like them chasing it, I don't know, it'd be a bit mad. But needless to say, it was a wonderful experience. It's so, do you remember in one of the Botswana videos where the footage that the wonderful Julie sent of the lions coming in, and it's such a hierarchy in how they eat these kills, and it was a very clear, evident kind of hierarchy when it came to this particular pride of lions, and it was so wonderful. As hardcore as it was really fantastic, and they were so beefy looking, these lions. It was awesome. And of course the big fella that ambled in from the back really was just such a wonderful sight to see. But needless to say, a couple of elephants decided to pop up, and it's amazing how quickly they actually get through these carcasses, because when we had returned the following day, it was just skeletons and a rib cage, and so really they absolutely smash into it. And of course then when the vultures land, then it's pretty much game over for the Purell kill. But needless to say, it was a fun afternoon, so let's move on. So we have reached the last morning here at this particular camp. We are in Robin's camp, a really beautiful place. And but I found out just yesterday that it was founded by an Irish fella. So I need to explore who Mr. Robin was. Or maybe his first name is Robin, I don't know. We shall find out. There's like a tower. Actually, it's right there, look. There is a tower that you can go up. So I'm gonna go do that. Supposedly there's like a telescope and things like that up there. So let's have a wander and find out what the crack is. So supposedly he used to use this telescope to survey the land. He had cattle here, so he would obviously need to keep an eye on them so they didn't get eaten. So he would pop his head out the window, or at least the telescope out the window, and have a look and see what the crack was. And then he'd use his rifle then to, the guide was telling us that he would just walk out and just shoot, shoot into the air to scare away the animals. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating. We can go up a bit more. It's always nice to soak in a little bit of history as well as the wildlife. Whoa, these are steep. Very musty smell. It's like, it's always the way when you come to these old buildings. Don't fall over the edge now. Wow, it's a fine view in fairness. So I suppose he had a very commanding view of the area from up here. Obviously it's turned into a camp and a lodge and things like that, but wow, smashing view. Say on a clear night you'd get some stars up here. So anyways, there you go. A little brief interlude to the history behind the place. The airstrip as well over there. But we are going to pack up and hit the road at least, and we are going to stay at another camp. It's probably about an hour's drive from here, on the opposite side of the park. So hopefully it's a bit more different in terms of landscape wise. So we shall see. Excited. It's been really nice here. As I mentioned earlier, it's, we're technically looking at the same animals, give or take, less or more. But it's the landscape that's changed so much. And the trees here are absolutely gorgeous. They really are.
And so it's nice to kind of photograph the animals and things like that when we can, you know, in the trees, and, you know, using the trees as depth and all that kind of fun stuff. And it's really been a pleasure. So hopefully we get more of that, and it's not open plains, which are just as beautiful in their own right. But anyway, let's get ourselves organized and get ready to hit the road.
So having driven through Namibia and now having the opportunity to drive through Hwange National Park, it's such a great experience for me personally to be able to, you know, have these, you know, drives kind of on my CV, if you will, because it's such a wonderful thing to be able to do and to be able to take people along on these kinds of trips. And while we did self-drive a couple of the game drives we did from the main camp, it actually worked out a lot better for us just to use the you know, the tour guides that the camps have available, because they're just so much more knowledgeable. You know, me, I'm just driving. We did see a fair bit, as you will see in the pictures, but for me, it just works out a lot easier just when there's essentially a professional doing it. They can spot the tracks and they know exactly what they're looking for. And you know, obviously they have their radios to communicate with each other, which I don't. And they'd be like, "Who the hell is this guy talking to us?" But needless to say, the main camp, as I mentioned, it's just such a wonderful drive across the way, and it really was fantastic. And again, a wonderful opportunity just for me personally to be able to just drive these landscapes and drive in these countries, because it's people might get a bit kind of turned off with the notion of doing stuff like that, but it's really not so bad. So anyways, there's a mad ramble for you. Let's move on and let's see what else we can see.
Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to the Hwange Main Camp. This is rustic. It's a beautiful camp, though. I think it was built in like the 20s or something. It wasn't built in the 20s. I don't know when it was actually built, but it's rustic, but it's beautiful and big. And you know what? We were driving around yesterday. We went for a little game drive yesterday. And I think I actually prefer this side of the park. It's a lot more dense, a lot more vegetation, a lot greener, and a lot more opportunity to see some animals and wildlife. Huge amount of elephants, but I'm coming down in photographs of elephants, so it's like, yeah. Oh God, I know I'm being very picky, but it's that wonderful place. Just here for last night and tonight, and then tomorrow we hit the road to the airport, and then that's it. So hopefully this morning and this afternoon we get some look on our side to see what we can see, but just waiting to get collected now to go for a game drive. And yeah, fun times shall ensue. I'll take some video and the usual crack for you as we're driving around, but yeah, it's really lovely, really lovely. There's loads of these trees all over the place, and they're beautiful trees. And you know, all I want to see is a leopard in a tree and a cheetah, and so maybe more birds. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Let's wait and let's get going. Okay, so this morning was so special for us. It was
really great. We did get to see some wild dogs in Botswana, as you probably would have seen from the previous videos, but wow, this particular encounter we had here in Hwange was absolutely incredible. It was such a huge pack. I think there was about like 15 or 16 of them in total, and it was absolutely incredible. We were the first car to actually spot them, and we followed them all the way to the watering hole, and you know, getting to watch them interact with there was a couple of like ducks or something in the water that they were chasing around the place, and then of course when the elephants decided to turn up, there was a fair bit of banter between them, so it was really awesome. I'm super duper delighted with how everything turned out here. It was such an incredible morning. But wow, this place is full of elephants. It's like Elephant Central. One of the things that was, you know, they told us was that in Hwange National Park, it's actually one of the largest elephant populations pretty much in southern Africa. So when I say that there was a lot of elephants, I really mean it. There was an incredible amount. But anyways, what a fantastic morning we had on this particular game drive. As I say, getting to see these wild dogs was truly special, and just getting to see them interact with the elephants again was just that was such a wonderful morning, and really worth the heat. It's worth the heat. Really special day. So yeah, let's finish off these pictures and move on. So folks, it kind of forces you to have a nap. The heat and the humidity. Wow, my Irish blood is too thick for this kind of weather. Anyways, what an absolutely wonderful morning game drive that we had. The dude packs heat. He's rolling around with an AK in his truck, you know. I get it, like, but it's pretty weird seeing that as an Irishman. Don't see too many guns at home. Anyway, it's a crazy ramble. So we are heading out now for this is our last game drive of the entire time we are here. I can't believe it. All good things come to an end, as they say. And yeah, fingers and toes crossed, we get treated as well as we did this morning. A wonderful sighting of the wild dogs this morning. Such a huge pack. And those elephants, holy moly. I don't think I've ever seen so many elephants in one place in my entire life. It was mental. There must have been well over 300 of them. So it's just a good testament to the kind of health of their numbers here in Hwange. And the driver dude was like, I think there's too many. So there you go. So we are going to pack up. We've got maybe 20 minutes. We'll head over, grab our stuff, head over to meet the guy, and then that's it. So fingers and toes crossed. I just wanted to see a cheetah in a tree, and a leopard in a tree, and a cheetah. If I can get those two things before the day is out, then this will end on a magnificent high. But nature is nature. Anyway, gonna get organised, gonna hit the road, and see what we can see. So fingers and toes crossed. Yeah, I can't believe it's all coming to an end. Bittersweet, as they say. But let's enjoy this last one. So as we embarked on our final game drive of this Southern African adventure, we got treated so beautifully. Oh my god. Now, we didn't see any cheetahs or leopards up a tree, but we did get a beautiful, beautiful sunset and absolutely a huge herd of elephant rolling through this watering hole, and of course some wonderful, wonderful birds as well. But the cherry on top is that we actually did then get to see a leopard right at the very, very end. Oh wow, the guy was like, oh my god, there's a leopard on our way back to camp. And fair play to the dude, he absolutely floored it for us, just like everybody else. I think there was about 6 cars or so when we turned up, and fair play to the guy. It was such a wonderful, wonderful, like, piece de resistance, cherry on top for us to finish off this wonderful, wonderful added adventure in Hwange and Zimbabwe. Yeah, seeing that leopard at the end was just really, really special. And of course, getting to see all these elephants bathed in golden sunlight, and the birds, morning report, sire. And so it was really, really absolutely wonderful. The whole encounter was just great. We had plenty of time. We were actually able to get out of the car. We were chilling. We had snacks, and we just enjoyed such a beautiful, beautiful sunset. And it was really, really special. And I was so, so happy with how everything turned out. So yeah, really, really wonderful.
Well, folks, that's it. Bittersweet as it is, that is the end of this African adventure. Just waiting for this guy to be collected, and I am going to be brought to the airport. As I said, my farewells to Alex, who was with me in Hwange. Yeah, and look, if you've made it this far, to anybody that was on either the Namibia trip or the Botswana trip, it was an absolute pleasure to have met you. And of course, to have seen some familiar faces again. Whew. Yeah, what a wonderful, wonderful adventure this was. It's been truly, truly amazing. We're not finished yet. I'll keep that one under my hat though for you as a clickbait or a, anticipation bait. I am actually on my way home to Dublin now, flying home to Dublin first because I got a bit of kind of like admin to do for the next adventure. So we might have a ramble around Dublin before we need to get going. I got about 10 days back home, and looking forward to seeing everybody. But anyways, that's beside the point. If you like the video, folks, please do give it a like. And if you fancy following along for more adventures, you are most welcome to hit that subscribe button. Because believe me when I tell you, the next adventure is one that I have waited for my entire professional career. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. But I'll leave you to it now. I'm going to eat this random scone and make my way out to the airport. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.